Hello everyone, welcome back. So I've just finished painting this one over here, and in this video I'm going to paint the canvas side over here, and I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to stick to the same color palette. So I've got that still out right here, 362 from Color Cube Volume 2 by Sarah Renee Clark. And I want this one to maybe be more vividly orange, kind of in this family with touches of the blue-green maybe, to contrast. Because I feel like this one in the end, the colors I see the most are maybe the green and the blue, because I did those vivid green spots. I don't know, it's what stands out most to me. You may look at that and think, oh no, the other stands out more. we're just gonna go for it. And I got a little bit of paint still out. It might be drying now, but we're gonna put out some gesso because I like to mix my acrylic paints with gesso. It makes them more spreadable. Also kind of makes some of it transparent a little bit. I don't know, I just like to mix it in. It just makes it fun and easier. And I've got the green, dark green deep and orange deep over here on the palette, and then I'm gonna add green blue deep. This is dark green deep and green blue deep. How confusing is that? And it's totally different colors. I'm gonna squirt some of that out there, and the orange medium, which really the orange medium is probably the same color as that orange deep but with white in it, but we'll just throw a little out there anyway. There we go. And I've got some filberts, some bigger ones. Maybe I want this bigger one for right now. This is a bigger filbert. I don't know what that number is. Let's see. 5/8 inch. I got some water back here. And I've got my bowl scraper. I feel like we could be doing that. I do feel like there could be maybe some stencils maybe coming up. And we want mostly orange is what I decided, right? So maybe we'll start with the orange, and I'm going to mix that in with the gesso and go from there. And I'm painting on canvas, so it's definitely a different feel than the watercolor paper. And then I'm going to use that gesso as my white paints. I'm going to let a lot of white get in there, and I might come in with my bowl scraper and kind of move it around and really get that kind of abstraction going in there. Just my own preference there. I did put the wax paper underneath so that I could get not get it all over the page that was underneath it. I'm just trying to be careful not to get it on this page. That's the clear gesso and the white gesso. The clear gesso will let it stay dark and still let me make it like more spreadable and, I don't know, less choppy. I just like it. It's just a technique that I started doing years ago, and it's kind of one I've stuck to because I like doing it. You could just do solid acrylic paint if that's what you end up liking. And then when you mix it with the white, you get variations in color, which I like that also. Ooh, I like that a lot. Look at that right there. Don't mess that up. Oh my goodness. That one spot. It's just gorgeous. Oh, it is just gorgeous. I mean, maybe this whole page should just be orange and not have the blue in it. Just kind of thinking out loud as we're covering this canvas. Don't mess up that. Let's see if we can do that again. I need some more white out, I think. Alright, let me put a little more of this white gesso out, since I'm definitely digging that today. That is white gesso day. White gesso is basically just white acrylic paint with some yummy kind of gritty stuff in it so that we could put stuff on top of it and layer on top of the acrylic paint, because you know acrylic paint is hard to layer on top of. It's basically plastic, and when it dries it's basically just really hard to layer on top of with things like pastels and stuff. I should totally get the pastels out. But you know, in the books with the pastels, you definitely got to finish pastels with some type of fixative, or they never really dry. And when you do it in the book, can you get enough fixative on there to not let it latch onto the other page as the book is closed up? Don't go over your favorite part. Look at there, I just kind of almost went over it. Tell yourself, don't do that. You know, when you sit and talk to yourself while you paint, you become a little bit crazy. I know it. So in my mind, I know that I'm really talking to you guys, and so I'm not as crazy as maybe I come off. But man, if some of my neighbors were watching me, they'd be like, this girl is a nut. And I'd be like, I know it, and you love it. Let me tell you what's really the thing going on today. I don't drink coffee, which, how do people not drink coffee, right? It's like the entire world drinks coffee, but I just never got into coffee, so I'm not a coffee drinker. But there are these chocolates called, I think they're called Awake, and they've got a little bit of caffeine, and one piece of the chocolate is like half a cup of caffeine, half a cup of coffee. And so I ate one of those pieces of candy before I came out to my room and started painting, because I was like, maybe I need the caffeine today. And now I think that caffeine is kicked in. I think it's kicked in. And as somebody that doesn't wake up to coffee, I do wake up to Diet Dr. Pepper, but I don't think that the Diet Dr. Pepper has as much caffeine as maybe the cup of coffee, because let me tell you, drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper and coming up to paint doesn't quite make me this nutty and giggly and just all over the place. So just laugh with me and enjoy Crazy Denise. Look at this. This is beautiful just like this. Like, I might not even do anything else to it beyond just experimenting with one color, light to dark, because this is quite beautiful, and I actually feel like we are kind of like where I wanted to be for today. Like, I feel it. It's beautiful. It's contrasting this other side exactly like I wanted, and it's kind of like the handmade papers. It's not overdone. There's just enough in here to really give you like a lot to look at and be interesting, but at the same time, it's not like suck them in the face with everything in the kitchen sink like we did over here. I'm actually kind of loving that right there. And then we could, you know what we could do? This is what we could do. Oh my gosh. We could let that dry, and then we could come over with a little tiny bit of stencil work and maybe a tone on tone kind of stencil. Or, what about this with the gold, like those other pages that I loved, and we've got the gold over here. We could do a little bit of gold over here. It's just a little bit of something. Okay, I'm feeling that. Okay, let's let this dry, because I'm definitely loving where we got with this. I almost feel like maybe I need to drag something through this and make a few little marks, because it's paint, you know, we could come through, and this is pencil that I'm actually doing there. But it could just be a little bit of mark making would be kind of fun. Something subtle. Here I am already just undoing all the lovely work I did, even though I'm like, I like it just like this. Let's make some more. Let's put some more stuff on it. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Alright, maybe a few little somethings over here. How about that? Just a little bit. Okay, let's not overdo it. Let's not overdo it. Oh, okay, I'm feeling like tone on tone, possibly stencils. So let me look at my little stash and let's let this dry a little bit and I'll be back. All right, I think it's getting dry. It could be a little bit wet, but that's okay. I've pulled out some of my Stencil Club stencils that we actually used. This one, it looks like seashells and stuff to me, but I think I did it in the other book. And so I was actually kind of thinking about these other probably sea creatures, but I think it might be kind of cool to have it maybe come across the page just as something interesting, or maybe coming across the page that way since that's the fold. Just as, or we could just kind of come down the side. I don't know, I was kind of thinking, do we want to maybe do that a little bit? I can kind of start here. I'm kind of feeling like that might be fun, just different and fun. I might totally regret it, but you never know till you experiment. This is just some heavy bodied white by Liquitex. I like it because it's more solid. And let's just give it a try. We might regret this one. I'm almost thinking I'd rather do that other one, but I feel like I've used it somewhere and we haven't used this one. So let's just go with it. Dry sponge, just a little bit of paint, and then hopefully you don't smear it everywhere and you don't get a lot of seepage underneath, but we're just going for it. It's nothing specific that we're trying to get here, more than just experimenting. And if you totally ruined it, get some more of that paint that we've already been doing and just paint over it again. That's my philosophy. Just paint it again. Just paint over some more. Maybe it needed more layers and you didn't even know it. And then your stencil work said, yep, we need more layers. Oh my goodness. Come on and find the joy with me in your art. I want you to sit and play and have fun. I mean, really in the end, if you're not having fun at your art table, you're less likely to come back. If you'll start experimenting with all your supplies in the way that I do in some of these videos, you discover things that you never would have discovered otherwise. It's giving yourself some permission to discover new things and go new directions in your art. And just create things that maybe were in you that you didn't even know were in you. Okay, let's hold this down. Let's see what that even... Oh, look at that! Okay, we'll just pick it up. I mean, I know I said hold it down, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe a little bit coming right through here. How about that? Do we want that? Oh, I kind of like it right there. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Just do it. But like maybe the masterpiece in you is the piece that you created while you play and you didn't even know it. And then you had fun. And then you're like, ooh, I can't wait to come back to my art table and play some more. Because look what I created the last time I played. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because look at this stuff I've created. I love to play. That's why I like doing videos rather than trying to sell art. Because now I don't feel like I have to create anything in particular. And we're happy with wherever we end up. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece today. It could just be enjoying the fact that I showed up and made something cool in a book that I can now save and flip through and show others and be like, look what I made. I feel like the caffeine is still going. I feel it. Look! Okay. That was fun. So this is a Stencil Club stencil. And I'll link the Stencil Club below. You can't just search these stencils on their site. You have to go to the Stencil Club page. And this one is 7 of 2024. So this was July 2024. And then down on that Stencil Club page, further down, you'll find the club stencils listed. They're not just out there. Now I kind of feel like maybe a few dots. Do we want a few dots? Yeah, anyway, they're not just out on the site. They're on the bottom of that page. Woo, got a dot there, didn't we? I don't know that I intended that dot to be there. There we go. Maybe we should shake it with the lid on. What the heck? I got white paint splattering everywhere. And it's like, just put the lid on, silly lady. Okay. I just want maybe a few. Dots are kind of magical. Like maybe just out there. Kind of continuing the story that we created. Now that might not completely match the wild and craziness over here, but I feel like the colors kind of match. And we experimented and we played and discovered something fun. And that could have been a whole painting just with the orange. I totally would have hung that up on my wall. I would have taken photos to make textures to add to my photography, because textures are what, you know, what I've done for more than a decade, making your art a little more, your photography a little more artistic and not straight photos. And so totally would have taken pictures of section of that for making textures for my photos. But I do love it in a lovely thing that I could just frame and hang. And I could have framed and hanged just that texture that we created under this. Look how pretty this is. Okay. I feel like we're there today. Oh my gosh. I love the two pages that kind of flank each other. They are contrasting each other in the colors that we chose without being identical. So that is super fun, and I'm actually really happy with that spread today. So I hope you had fun painting with me today. I hope that inspires you to get out either just some paper to paint on, or maybe jump into an art book that you can create and then flip through and enjoy, you know, later after you have 3/4 of your book done, because this is super fun to flip through and not have to put these in plastic sleeves in the bin in my closet, which I'll never look at again probably unless I need something for a sample for a class. But just being able to flip through all the done paintings is like the absolute coolest thing ever. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging with me today and my caffeinated self, and I will see you guys next time.